Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Ann at Martin House Flowers. Well, today is a pretty mild day in comparison to my last video where I filmed in the greenhouse. I had the heater going, well, the fan was going, but the snow is finally melting. We've had a couple days of frigid temperatures in the mid-20s, and today I think it's going up to 40, so the snow is melting. It sounds like rain out there, but it's really just all the snow melting and dripping from the eavesdrops. So in today's video, I thought I would share with you some real life happenings in the grow room with my seedlings. Just to give you some background, I've been growing in my home garden for over 40 years. This is my, gosh, maybe my 7th home, but I think I've done the most in this garden. Especially in the way of owning a greenhouse, which I talked about in my last video, but also new for me is growing cut flowers. I've been growing cut flowers now for only about 3 years. I'm on my 3rd year. I started seeds years ago, just, direct sowing like many of us, just throwing forget-me-not seeds, morning glories, hollyhocks, that kind of thing. And just 3 years ago, I decided I wanted to do or grow cut flowers, and my husband was so kind and built for me 6 raised cut flower beds. And 3 years ago, truthfully, I had no issues, no real issues. I didn't run into any problems. I started with one grow light shelf, which I will show you, which is from Gardener Supply. And that grew into 3 grow shelves, which clearly I became addicted to seed starting. I absolutely love it. I find it so satisfying. My kids are grown. I have 2 stepdaughters that are teenagers. So, I think I just love starting a tiny little seed and get such satisfaction from seeing something grow into a 30-inch flower that is, growing in my cut flower bed. So, but as I mentioned today, I wanted to share with you what's really going on. I have, had no real issues, as I mentioned, until recently. So, the first year I tried, oh gosh, every kind of cut flower out there. In the 2nd year, I eliminated the ones that weren't cut and come again because I didn't think I could afford the real estate, with only having 6 raised beds. So I gave up growing stock and what else did I give up? Bells of Ireland, some cool flowers that weren't really conducive to my weather because we get very warm very quickly here. And again, I didn't like that they weren't cut and come again. But I did fantastic with Snapdragons, and so much so that I dedicated 2 beds to Snapdragons in the last 3 years. But this year, you're going to see that I've run into this issue where they have all of a sudden stopped growing at 5 weeks, or they're just stifled. I have a little container with 2024 seeds, so 2 years old, that I just broadcasted because I thought, they're pelleted, they're probably not going to do that great, but they're doing amazing in comparison to my new seeds that I purchased, last fall from Johnny's. Also pelleted, also Potomac series, so all the same types of seeds, Potomac, Snapdragon. I'll show you those in my grow room. And I've, I don't know, have you lost sleep about these sort of things? I literally woke up this morning stressed about it. I called Johnny's as soon as they opened. I'm still waiting to hear from them. I reached out to Roxana at Soil Margaritas. She has this amazing group on Facebook, Seed Starting Room group, and I posted a couple pictures there, asked for feedback. Roxana, gave me some great advice. She thinks that I should pot them up. I'm a little worried about potting them up because they are so tiny and delicate, and I have pricked out a couple and looked at the roots, and they are so tiny. But, the thing about Snapdragons is I've always pricked those out and potted them up. I've never just snipped and, killed off extra seedlings in a cell. So I've always doubled, tripled my Snapdragons. So I'm definitely going to give that a try. But I just wanted to hop in here today and share with you some of the real stuff that I'm dealing with my seedlings after only being a cut flower grower for 3 years, a home cut flower grower. So I hope this is helpful to you. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you'll share with me some of your issues, how you've dealt with them. And, because this, YouTube channel is really about growing together, learning from each other. So I hope you find this helpful. I know we've all been watching a bunch of seed starters who are showing just nothing but beautiful seedlings. And I thought I would do a contrast and share with you some not so great seedlings, and hope that gives you I don't know, some comfort, and that it will be helpful to you. I'm certainly going to keep you posted in future videos after I pot some of those up, and I have fertilized those Snapdragons just for the first time, even though typically you don't fertilize them until they have a second set of true leaves, or a first set of true leaves. The first set are typically cotyledon, which are not true leaves. But I did go ahead and fertilize them at half strengths to give them a little boost. I am seeing a little of improvement because the leaves were kind of turned down, and now they're looking a little better. So I'm definitely going to see what happens in the next few days, and also wait to hear from Johnny's. But anyway, I hope you find this video helpful, and thanks for being here. I wanted to share what my seeds are doing now, and I'm going to be very real on this video. You'll see that my sticky traps have caught a couple of fungus gnats. So I've gone ahead and ordered some of that mosquito bits, and I'm starting now to water with them. These are some new seedlings, the petunias. They were sowed February 16th. As you can see, they're super tiny. There's some good germination though. As you can see, I heavily sowed them because they are super tiny, much like Snapdragons, maybe even tinier. They're like dust. And then these are the perennial salvia. They're doing quite well. These were done February 16th. So it gives you an idea of what 1 month looks like for these. These have been here for roughly 4 weeks, since today is around the 18th, day after St. Patrick's Day. And these are Verbena bonariensis that we sowed together. I started with just one 10 by 10 tray, and just a week ago, roughly, I was able to divide them. They were getting really big in one cell, so I divided them to give them more space, and I went from one 10 by 10 to 3 10 by 10s. The other one is in my grow room, my guest room. I'll show you that in a bit. These ones I decided to put just a nice distance from the grow lights. This rack is from Gardener's Supply. So these are, I think these are status, yes, that we did February 16th. They're doing really well. Yes, there are multiple seeds in each cell, and I could eventually pot those up if I have space. This is Portulaca, which is a sun, heat-loving annual. I'm really excited about these. We started these February 16th. And then here are some of the globe thistle that were doing, they were kind of leggy and they were flopping. So I have gone ahead, as recommended by Vita at Budget Gardening, I went ahead and potted them up and buried them a little bit. Some of them are looking okay, but you'll see the other tray, they're much better. And I'm being very transparent about my fungus gnat issue, and I'm hopefully going to improve this. This is Sweet William. They're doing really well, although I did have some cells that didn't germinate. So here's a couple other cell packs that have the Verbena bonariensis that I divided. So I was able to get almost at least double what I originally had. 1.5 times, I guess, because I have 1.5 extra trays of this seedling. And here are some Gomphrena. Now we did these Gomphrena together on March the 7th. I have a video, I have 2 videos actually of cut flowers that are great for drying. So these over here, I should probably move this. This is Dusty Miller. They were done March the 3rd. These are petunias, Easy Wave from the challenge. And these are Cascade Pink petunias. These are the Salpoglossus. So I sowed these all at the same time on March the 3rd. And as you can see, I was able to add these recycled containers in the front. That empty spot is because is from a tray I just removed. I'm going to repot some of the empty cells. And here are the silver drop. These are the original silver drop eucalyptus we started together mid-January. They were the first seedlings that I sowed, and I did divide them, and I now have... Actually, I'll show you that tray now. We'll just jump down here. So it's actually a full 10 by 20. So you can see that I've successfully divided them and essentially tripled the number of seedlings of my eucalyptus. So I'm thrilled about that. Here is, these are coleus seedlings we started together. They're still kind of tiny. We did these February 24th. Coleus takes some time. And then these, I had started to pot these up. These are old pansy seedlings from 3 years ago. Here's some Gora I did for the first time. Kind of spotty germination. I'm glad that I just broadcasted them in a recycled container. And then down here we have some cinnamon basil. These are all relatively sowed around the same time. This is Gomphrena that we did early March. This is on March the 7th we did straw flower. 2 different varieties in there. They're older seeds, so I went ahead and just shared that container. These are the shimmer celosia from Johnny's that I just broadcasted. These are Crispedia. These seeds are from Botanical Interest. Not the best germination. I know I saw our friend Roxana at Soil Margaritas, her Crispedia were beautiful. Much further along, she started them very early, but hers are from Johnny's. So I think if I do these again next year, I will buy from Johnny's. And just pulling back a little bit here, I started with 2 different types of Maverick geraniums, and I divided them, and these are the babies of these. And look at the difference of how healthy the leaves are, much greener. So I don't know what's going on. I'm pretty much on the same schedule of fertilizing. I've decided to move them together so that they have the same light, distance of light, same schedule of watering and fertilizing. So these guys are so happy here. I decided to bring their mummies over here. So I'm not worried if I lose a couple. There's a couple there that are stressed. It'll be okay. So here's the tray that's missing. I want to share all the good and bad, or the, kind of fails, if you will. But these guys need to get potted up or removed. When they're that tiny, I'm not so committed. I almost would rather just start over and just change up the mix here and use this tray for something better. I might end up potting up some of my problem Snapdragons. So let's get to the Snapdragons. Now these are a good news story. These seeds are from 2024. They were pelleted as well. I used my same DIY mix that I've used everywhere here, except the other Snapdragons were put in soil blocks, and these seeds are fresh. They were purchased in late summer, fall of 2025, so they're a year younger than these 2024 seeds. And these were planted or sowed the exact same time, February 11th, and look how tiny. I don't know if we call those stalled or what is going on, but I literally woke up so stressed about this. I was up at 6 o'clock this morning. I couldn't wrap my head around what I was supposed to do. Do I start over? Do I pot these up? I contacted or commented to Roxana's video with her beautiful Snapdragons and all her beautiful seeds. And, you know, I thought I should just be honest and share with you guys some of my issues, and maybe it would help some of you. And maybe if you've had this experience, you could share with me how you've handled it. So I have 9 of these trays looking pretty much the same. So February 11th, pelleted Potomac Snapdragons. These are 2024, these are 2025 seeds, like fall 2025 seeds. So here are the others. There's 9 of them, 9 trays. Look at them. They're just different colors. They're all pelleted Potomac. So these ones, it's hard to see, but the leaves are kind of, and the stems are reddish because of the color. Some of the purple Potomacs or the lavender, they have more of a reddish, whereas the white and yellow are more this color. But I don't know. I'm so unsure whether or not they will survive. Look at them. So again, the soil difference is that these have mushroom compost, whereas all my other seedlings only have coconut coir, vermiculite, and perlite. So these have coconut coir, vermiculite, perlite, and mushroom compost. And I did that because I needed something a little bit more substantial when forming my soil blocks. So here's a great example of what potting up a little deeper my globe thistle. So this is a win, and I'm really happy about these. There's another tray here. I used a mushroom container as the bottom tray because, as you can see, my shelf only holds 2.5. It doesn't hold 3 across like this shelving does. This holds 3 across, and this is much deeper. So if you're new and you want to get shelving for grow lights, I would highly recommend you get a 30-inch wide and at least 14 inches deep if you can, so that you can fit 10 plus another, you know, couple 4 inches here in the front for these types of recycled containers. So here's other happy seedlings. These are status that we just sowed in March. We just did these March the 7th, and these are just some more older pansy viola seedlings that I've been pricking out and potting up as they get bigger. There's some wonderful peppers I've potted up. They're doing well. There's some more of those very sad Snapdragons. So that's it for today's video. I thought I would just show you what the grow room is looking like, what my seedlings are looking like, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Or maybe they're just the good and the struggling. I guess that's a better way to put it. So drop me some comments about how your seedlings are going. What's your best seedling so far? What are your problem seedlings? And let's grow together. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time. Bye now.